Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning or Friday afternoon or Friday evening, depending on where you are. I'm biased to think that it's Friday morning because that's what it is where I am. So, as you may have realized, in today's session, we are going to be talking about biases, something we all have, something that we've all experienced. Biases exist all over the world across all aspects of life, and they cause problems, right? We know they cause problems in healthcare, in government, MarTech, ad tech, and a lot of other sectors, e-commerce included. So in order to solve those problems, first, we have to be able to understand where they come from. We have to shine a light on them in order to clearly see and combat them. Problems aren't something that are going to be solved in the dark or in a vacuum, and especially not with biases. So the important thing to remember is that the solution to a problem is contained in the way we define the problem. So that's precisely why our teams have been working on how to tackle the issue of biases. What better way to expose something than visually, so we can literally see biases mapped out? Well, that's what our Academy Fellows, Alvaro Ibanez and Alex Lorenzo, have been working on. They've been working on visualizing biases in AI search interaction. So before we get started, please remember to put any questions that you have in the chat. We're looking forward to hearing from you, but remember that we won't answer them live. We'll get back to you afterwards, okay? All right, take it away, guys.
Okay. So thank you, Jordan. So we strongly believe that the solution to every problem is contained within the definition of the problem itself. We recognize that bias is a significant challenge for merchants, and this includes linguistic and cultural biases across diverse communities, which can impact the way they express their needs and navigate merchants' catalogs. We articulate the biases in visualizations easy to understand at first glance, the metrics, the shapes, and the synonyms. After all, even customer and merchant that speak the same language though so differently, and we are all equal and we all deserve to be understood. Making the aforementioned visualization just partial or tighten to brands as needed. Now, my colleague Alvaro will show you a demo of this prototype.
Thank you, Alex. So, to identify biases and make user preferences and the catalog match, we have implemented a tool to assist merchants in understanding customer interactions. This tool includes information related to clicks, added to cart products, and queries with no results, but can also be extended with any information that can be provided by the merchants themselves, and that is compatible with Empathy's ethical approach to data. Users can easily select and make use of each of these filters both individually or all of them at the same time. And this serves to focus on segments of the information that fall within certain numerical or percentual ranges. This relates to our previously mentioned approach by volumes. Considering the need to display data for large communities, we have implemented multiple layers to enhance explainability. Namely, we have both geographically located information layers and non-geographically located ones. As a demo for this live event, we have implemented 3 different layers. Those correspond to brands, which is this one, the one that I showed at the start. Divisions, which could be, for instance, the divisions of a company. And also the states layer, which corresponds to information about the different US states. Seeing how customers from different locations and those who shop in different brands interact with the catalog can help further reduce the geographical bias of merchants whose companies operate across diverse communities. For instance, if it is detected that the number of no results for a particular query is high, it may as well mean that for that specific community the number comes from, there is another word to refer to that same concept that is more popular. This feature addresses volumes and shapes alike. And also, finally, and related to what we just mentioned, we have also developed the query search functionality. to understand better how each community uses different terms for the same query and detect which ones those terms may be. This not only helps to reduce the geographical bias, but also reduces the bias and barriers imposed by the linguistic characteristics of each community. For instance, if you search for the word soda, apart from the information displayed in the columns changing from general information to query-specific information, you will see that synonyms for that query appear. Those are words that are used in different locations to refer to the same query. As previously mentioned, the solution to a problem always lies within the definition of the problem itself. Thus, the best way to avoid falling for the solution bias and jumping into conclusions before fully understanding the problem is to have a new way of visualizing it and its implications and magnitude. In that sense, the geomap offers a brand new way of visualizing the data from the interactions between customers from diverse communities and the merchants' catalogs, which helps further reduce bias in decision-making at all levels and across all departments. This was all. We are Alejandro Lorenzo Caña and Álvaro Ibáñez Coedo, computer science students that are now taking part in Empathy's Academy program. I also want to thank everyone for their attention and presence in this live event.
Thank you, Álvaro and Alejandro. That's brilliantly, perfectly explained. Thank you so much for all the work you put in this important mission. So if I understood this correctly, this is a big problem to tackle. It's such a, it's not AI's problem, it's not technology's problem, it's ultimately a human problem. We all judge early and immediately based on a few superficial, maybe contradictions from which we obtain the pleasure of momentary judging something. But there is always more to people, there is always more to behavior than that which we can see. There are causes that we can attribute behavior that we don't know, and it's okay not to know them. And if I understood the approach that you guys are following is, as very good, Jordan, you explained before, you guys are trying to visualize, you guys are trying to articulate the problem, the distance of biases, right? And the outcome I hope to see from this effort is culture, is cultural. We want to have copy management teams, we want to have IT management teams, we want to have analytics teams, insights, product management, data scientists, developers, everyone aware that different people have different motivations and they express with the same language differently, and it's okay. And all the investments that we're doing in semantics, all the investments that we're doing in AI normalize language, unaware of these intricacies. And this is a speculation of language that we need to overcome. So this is beautiful, guys. I'm very grateful for this. Looking forward to see the progress. We'll continue to invest in this initiative strongly and to unfold new steps ahead. And we'll be pleased to answer any questions that are dropped in the chat afterwards. Have a most beautiful, wonderful Friday. Thank you. Jordan, over to you.
Yes, thank you for joining us, whether it's Friday morning for you, Friday night, or if you're watching this another day. Bring on the music, Bea.
And thank you, Scott, for joining from California. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Well, that's a nice choice.
A literal song about biases and thinking it's all about you.
Exactly, Jordan. Right on the spot. I'm gonna listen to this for a minute.